Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
That we do. And today we're going to talk about us, the new year, how everything went, all the plans, resolutions, expectations, and schedules.
More like goals, but on the same vein, they'll sound like resolutions.
But what's a resolution and a goal? What's the difference? What's the real difference?
Goals for us in Kovray, I think, are different than personal resolutions. Personal resolutions have to do more with like our lifestyle and how we want to.
But board games
live.
are our lifestyle.
Board games is a lifestyle.
Well, we just got back from the holidays and we're ready for the new year. How did our holidays go?
Yeah, let's talk about that first. It was great. We went down to visit Ilya's family, and we played a surprising amount of games with both mine and your family.
So whenever we go anywhere, we always bring that huge
BoardGameTable.com
that
bag.
yeah. And we filled up all the way with games.
Yeah.
Because you never know. If someone's in the right mood, we have a game for that. So typically we play one or two or none. But this time we actually got to play almost all of the games in the bag.
I think when we went to your family's, we missed 2.
Yeah. Out of like 10, 15, somewhere around there.
And then out of my family's, we missed 3.
Yeah, we still played a lot. And that was only for an evening.
Yeah.
So
we did pretty good.
What was your favorite game that we played with our families?
With your family, I think I think Savannah Park was probably my favorite one to play.
That was really fun.
Yeah. Your sister catches on to games really fast, and it always amazes me.
She is just like, she's 14, and she is a wizard when it comes to rules. Yeah. We'll literally say something, and she knows it, and she can explain the game back to us.
Yeah, Ilya was being the typical older brother. You're like, okay, what happens if I do this?
She's like, she's on it. She knows it. So she, she's a young board gamer for sure.
Yeah.
I think mine would be Doodle Dash with my family, because it was just, it was really, so essentially it's a game you draw. It's like just one, but with speed and drawing.
Yeah.
So the faster you draw, the more opportunity you get your drawing to be guessed, and then you get points. And because there's a speed and play, my sister was on it. Every time she was the first one finished, and sometimes her drawings were nowhere near what they should have been. But other times she was really on top of it, so it was really impressive.
Yeah.
What about with your family?
Which one did I like with my family? I think mine management actually was my favorite with the family.
That was gonna be mine. I really, because your dad got so into it. He knew, they caught me. I was the recruiter, and it's a hidden movement game. So his dad was on it. He knew exactly where I was going. Sometimes the other folks didn't listen to him, but he was always right.
Yeah, my dad got super into it. I was actually kind of surprised. Actually, I was not surprised. This is the exact type of game that my dad is really good at. I think he enjoyed it. I hope he enjoyed it. But
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
He was definitely really good at it. And my mother and brother were just like, yeah, this is great, but your dad seems to know what we're doing, so let's just follow his his lead. Well,
okay, and that is our holidays.
Yes.
But let us know if you played any games and how your holidays went, and if you didn't, what games would you want to play? So 2022
oh my goodness,
is coming up. This felt like a very long year.
Well, we did a lot. Like a lot. I'm sure anybody who's been following along knows that we got a dog, we got a cat, we bought a house, we moved.
I got a new job.
We got new jobs. Or Ilya got a new job. Yeah. Started working from home. It was
yeah, there was a lot.
We did a lot of renos. Like, it's just been a lot. Yeah.
Tired. But 2022 is our year, as everybody always says. So
every year is my year, so I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah.
So we're going to talk to you about some of our Kovray goals and what we want to do with the channel, but then also talk about some of the personal stuff that we want to do and grow and develop as humans.
Exactly.
So let's kick it off with our 3 Kovray goals.
All right, the first one's pretty big.
Big.
I don't know how many games or how many plays were we able to get this year.
I think this year, well, no, say the goal first.
All right, our goal for 2022 is to get a total of 730 plays in.
Why 730?
Because it's twice the year. Basically means we'll have to play 2 games a year. A day.
On average, yeah.
On average.
We're actually pretty close this year. I think this year, near the end. And we only really keep track of the games that we own. So the games that we don't own, we don't usually track. So of the games that we own, we played about 650.
Yeah, so it'll stay the same as this year, or as
Well, we're pushing the limit a little bit to reach it.
yeah, and like I guess to give some context behind this plays thing, because measuring can be different, but essentially like one full playthrough of a game is a play. No matter what the length of the game is, it can be a 20-minute game or it can be a 70-minute game. Like, it doesn't matter. That is
you're
one
gonna go
play.
for like a bigger range, 70 minutes, like an hour and a bit.
Well, usually we don't play.
That would be like 20 minutes and 3 hours.
Yeah, but name seven games that we take that we play that take longer than 2 hours.
On Mars, Lisbon. Just kidding. There probably is, but we haven't. We usually try to fit more games in. But maybe one of the resolutions is to play more of those heavier games.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, and that's our goal number 1. Our goal number 2 is to do a 10 by 10. So what a 10 by 10 challenge is essentially we pick 10 games and we have to play them 10 times over the course of the year. The reason we actually went with plays rather than games is we do want to give some of the games on our shelf a little bit more love, because a lot of the time we play a game 1 or twice, depending on like if we're reviewing maybe a few more times, but we want to give more games love.
Yeah, we just have a lot of games on the shelf that I personally enjoy that maybe take a little bit longer to play, that we don't normally cover on our channel because we do a lot of gateway games is what we'll call them. True. But we do a bit on the lighter side as well. So
gonna try to involve some more heavier games into our coverage and aspects like that. Without further ado, let's say what our 10 by 10 games are. And we'll go back and forth. Ready?
I have a list.
You go first.
Paladins.
Root.
Merchant's Cove.
Space Base.
Dune Imperium.
Near and Far.
Ecos, First Continent.
Viticulture.
And Cryo.
And
all right,
Marvel Champions.
A 9 by 10. 9 by 10.
So that is our 10 by 10. We're very excited about it.
Yeah, you can give a general sense of like why we picked the games if you want.
Sure. Well, I think with some of mine, there's some that I just want to play more, and I know I will want like even more the more that I play them. And some of them are just old classics that I'm going to introduce to people and show, and also just play again and love. So what about you?
Yeah, during our game nights, we usually like ponder on what games to play, and I usually like step back and let Ilya or our friends pick what games to play. And I think that by making these games mine, I can be like stern on saying I really want to play these games
more assertive,
because I have a goal this year.
Yeah,
and yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
And that is our 10 by 10. Now our last, but certainly not least goal is we want to do that fun little challenge where we take a second of our board game life every day.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And make it into video, a 365-second video.
Do you think it will be all board game stuff, or is it going to be like just of us?
It can be. I feel like it'll evolve. I think at first it'll be more board games and editing, but maybe we went on vacation and there's a beautiful mountain, and that's going to be part of the video.
I also saved this question for the video, but do you think you should do one and I should do one, and then we clash them together, or? Because I'll likely forget.
That's true. That's true.
Unless
I feel
the
responsible thing is to do one together because it'll get done. But we could try doing that and then have like 2 different.
It would just be like a mash of them. Well, we'll talk about it later. But it definitely is a 1 second a day thing.
2022 is the year to kind of showcase the year,
Yes. Yeah.
And that is our 3 Kovray goals. Now, do we have any personal resolutions that we want to talk about? What do you want to accomplish with your life this year?
Oh, so much. Just so much. Oh, this year. Okay, this year I really need to focus on my health, because now that we have moved past getting all the big things with moving into the house, buying the dog, buying the cat, like all these things, and I have figured out a lot, not to get too deep into it, but I figured out a lot of things with my mental health that have really like projected me into a direction that I am happy about and excited to see. So with that said, now that my mental health is on the right track, or hopefully on the right track, I can begin to start focusing on my physical health as well. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. There's a few problems that I know exist in my life that I need to tackle, and hopefully that looks good this year.
Yeah. Any specific goals that you want to throw in, or just general?
No, I just want to keep it general. I don't want to keep too much pressure on myself people respect to people that have the resolutions to like go to the gym 3 times a week or eat healthier or by doing like certain diets. Like that's great, but I know that especially with what's going on mentally that I won't be able to hang on to one specific thing, so it's better for me to just like generally say I want to work on my physical health.
And any other resolutions you want to share?
Yeah, I like to play more games, more heavier games, because it will lean into the goals that we just recently talked about, but there are a lot of heavy games that I think deserve to be at the table for us, and maybe that will lean into Kovray in the sense of us starting to share more on the heavier side, because we do, like we said before, stick to light medium games. Yeah.
That's nice. Any other goals, or is that the 2?
I think that's the 2 I'll mention.
Okay. I think for me, I think I'm similar. This is, the year to get healthy. Because you're absolutely right. I think because we've moved, because we had so many of these factors, new jobs, COVID, I think there's always so much to worry about. I think this is the year where I just really focus in on the health and just eat better. I feel like there's a lot of times where I'm just really lazy and we order takeout or we just eat not good food.
Yeah.
And I really like cooking. I think you also really like cooking. So just leaning into that a little bit more and taking care of ourselves a little bit more so we can have more energy for more board games. And just like
gotta find a way to wrap it back to the board games, right?
And just life in general. Like I think I just want to feel better because I think this year especially, my health has not been the best. The other, I think, I'm hesitant to say this because I always say this and it never happens. But when I was younger, I used to read so much. I used to read a book a week. It was my go-to. I absolutely love reading when I have the time for it, but I never make the time for it. So maybe this year I'll gently throw out there that I want to start reading again.
Ooh.
And there's a couple books I have on my shelf that I will want to read. So maybe I'll just set aside time and actually, instead of watching a TV show or instead of just scrolling aimlessly through social media, I'll read a book.
That's good, yeah. 15 minutes of it. Never hurt anybody.
So, yeah, that's mine.
Cool. Let's move on to the next topic then.
Well, how are we going to tell you all of our updates about all of these different things?
What do you mean?
Well, we are going to... That was my segue to be like, we're going to talk about our schedule and what you can expect from us. So, I think our first year in Kovray, I think like we mentioned before, was more of a year of discovery. Like what we want to do, what worked, what didn't work. I think this is going to be a year of consistency.
I think we said this in our 1-year anniversary video. Yeah, consistency needs to be something more important to us, and I think now that everything that we've talked about has kind of just led to this space where it's like we have the capacity to now be consistent with what we're doing, and I think that as long as both of us commit to that and understand what we're doing, that it's something that we can really do. And I think also just in terms of growing on the platform, we want to see where we can take it, and exactly. I think and one of the things
inspire more people to play games.
Exactly. So what does that mean actually though?
So we really want to keep our check it out format because that's the way that we review games and showcase various games to you. So that's going to still stick Wednesdays, but now a quite strict 12 p.m. MST time every Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then we'll be doing an additional video every Monday at 12 p.m. MST. Now, that video will sometimes be a playthrough or maybe a preview of a Kickstarter and upcoming game. Sometimes it'll be a list. Sometimes it'll be a comedy sketch. That's the space that we can really sit down and be a little bit more creative.
And now that we've dialed in what our check-it-outs are actually, maybe we'll see some evolution in that space as well for the series. We're coming up on episode 50 here, so there is a reason maybe to up the notches on what exactly is happening in that series, but to be determined. And then of course we need to be able to have some creative outlets, and why not use it on YouTube and make new videos.
Exactly. So that's going to be our posting schedule. We are, last Monday of every month, we are going to release a vlog where we talk about some of these resolutions, our 10 by 10, how many plays we've had, maybe a favorite game that we've played that month, and just generally chat with you and get to know you folks better, and share a little bit of our lives with you as well.
Well, actually, it would be more like sharing our lives with you
And
then
hope
hoping
that
that you
us.
join us in
Yes.
that community sense to build that even stronger than it already is.
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm excited for the end of the month vlogs because I think I'm going to try and work in some data. And we'll see what we can do with that because I know some folks have expressed their interest in seeing some kind of analytics and
Fun data.
Love that stuff. So
And maybe there'll be some B-roll, maybe it'll be all out extravaganza. But maybe it'll just be us talking to the camera too, so it'll be one of the two.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all that we wanted to share with you today.
Yeah,
I've been holding this pen and just like...
we have these notes that we're like trying to follow. I think we did a pretty good job, but
the
tangents do
editing
exist.
will make it very nice and smooth. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button.
And that thumbs up.
That thumbs up, and then comment down below because we'd love to hear if you have any resolutions, any goals for the new year, any games that you want to play. Are you doing a 10x10 challenge? So many questions.
And even in that vein, like if there's something that you really want to see from us, whether that be maybe we start a Discord, maybe we do a YouTube like segment of XYZ, like we really appreciate the feedback and we are always open to new ideas. Sometimes even we definitely run out of ideas sometimes. So it's always good to have
Speak for yourself.
another person or people try to tell us what might be exciting for you to see. So.
Yeah, we always love hearing your thoughts and feedback, and we always try to incorporate it, even if it's in small ways that we can kind of make work. And if we don't agree, we'll let you know.
Yeah, and if it's a longer conversation that needs to happen, we can take it to our Instagram messages, our Twitter, whatever that might be.
That's very true. Well, thank you so much for watching.
And we will see you in the new year.
Goodbye.
And Happy New Year. Bye.